Sometimes there's no difference between a girl and a needle for your arm. Sometimes there's no difference between what you hold and what you wear. You're running hell, and no exhale can breathe. Left me in this mess I'm falling. Heaven knows. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind never stops. My name is Dr. Waffles. I'm joined here tonight by Sage on a Wednesday night, beautiful Wednesday night, 8th week of gameplay for the season. Sage, how you feeling tonight?
I mean, I'm feeling great. It's been a while since I've been back in the booth, but it's great to be back.
Absolutely, absolutely. And tonight we've got a banger of a matchup. We've got Whelps versus Diffusion, Sage. What can you tell us about that matchup?
So both teams are 6-8, and I mean, I know a lot about this Wolves team. This Wolves team they're kind of a force. Although they're 6-8, I mean, they've taken both of the top two teams in Novice to Game 5 this season. And on top of that, Quackbot is fourth in score per game in all of Novice this season. C Money as well, sitting in at seventh. But KP Football from Diffusion is sitting in third right now for score per game. So both teams are pretty evenly matched, but uh, it'll be a fun match to watch for sure.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And Diffusion and Whelps with the same record, they're also in the same conference, Sage. So they're in the Western Pacific Conference, and being tied for on record. What can you tell us about whoever comes on top here? What kind of ramifications is that going to have for tonight?
So currently, the Diffusion is sitting in the sixth seed right now because they're top of their division. Meanwhile, Whelps are sitting right outside of play-ins at the number 11 seed. The winner of this match is going to take the sixth seed for right now. Of course, they won't have clinched anything yet, but as it stands after this match, we will have a new leader in that division.
Absolutely, and I do know that Diffusion, was able to beat Whelps back in, I think it was week 4 with this matchup. They beat Whelps 3-1 in the series, so we'll have to see if Whelps can come back. Well, we've got everyone here in the lobby, Sage. So how about you give me some predictions? Who do you think is going to win tonight?
You know what? The Whelps, they've given me a run for my money as a novice league player. I've got my money on them. I think they take this one in 4.
All right, Whelps in 4. Very specific. I love it. Thank you, Sage. We'll have to see how this goes tonight. We'll see if Whelps can bring it back and get some momentum against Diffusion. This is a very important match for them if they're going to have good chances of being in playoff contention here, even though they are just one game outside of play-ins. It's going to be a long road, but they've started it right pretty quick from a goal from control, Sage.
It's just like that. Wolves are going to start off fast. They're always going to get the ball inside that box area, and they're looking to punish you. Any type of mistake on the defensive side for Diffusion here tonight is going to be critical.
Absolutely. And just 10 seconds in, we've already got a banger from Control to put Whelps up 1-0 in the game. We'll have to see if Diffusion can come back from that as Quack puts it into Diffusion's corner. And they're trying to clear it out now. Finer? Sage, do you know how to pronounce his name?
His name is pronounced Finner.
Finner, thank you. All right. Now we've got Quack putting a lob up over the Diffusion backboard, but Finner is able to make a touch. And the attempted clear is shut down. Now we've got Ginger. Bad 50 over to the other side of the field. Finner, little tap over to Cape. Ginger's there to follow up, but he can't. And now all the Diffusion team is back on the Whelps, and Quack's able to finish.
I mean, this is a little bit of what I expected. I heard that this Diffusion roster, they have a lot of good players, mechie players, but they're going to triple commit a lot on the offensive side of the ball, and that's where Whelps are going to dominate the game in.
Well, it's absolutely showed so far with the three-man play from Diffusion, as another one almost goes in, but it looked like KP was there for that one, while Ginger will try to put it back onto the Whelps half. We've got a free ball in the midfield. Control and KP going for it. KP can't quite get a touch. Control off the backboard, but a good cut from Finner. Keeps the Whelps quelled for just a second. And now we've got KP on his right wall, going for the air dribble, over one. Goes for the reset, but Control reads. Back in the Diffusion half. It's dangerous here. Control. Taking Control over in the corner, but can't get a good touch into the Diffusion offensive third. So now we've got Ginger. KP with the touch middle. Ginger, pass over to Finner, but Quack. Good cut there. And he tries to control it back over to the Diffusion half. Cut off. A little whiff from KP there. C-Money going for a solo play. But Finner shuts him down, but it's still dangerous over the Diffusion box. One can't finish. Control takes a shot on. Also shut down. C-Money in the corner. Pinches out to Quackbot. Quackbot with a shot, but it's cut off by Ginger. And, you know, even though that first minute stage was pretty rough from Diffusion, we now have some pretty good back and forth here. Looks like Diffusion's kind of warmed up now.
Yeah, I think the stream jitter just caught both teams, unfortunately. But it really does look like they're settling in here. It still looks like the Whelps have the majority of pressure, but I'm expecting this Diffusion team to turn it around here soon.
Absolutely, Whelps definitely are creating immense pressure on Diffusion here. Diffusion on their heels. Hopefully they can generate some offense here because there hasn't been much yet. As Control puts it back in right in front of the Diffusion goal, and Control just puts that one away.
Right now, it really looks like this Diffusion team is just discombobulated in the back right now. Double commits and triple commits are just eating them alive right now.
Absolutely. This first game is a rough one from Diffusion. Hopefully they can bring it back together and find some momentum to go into game two. Oh, that was almost some good momentum there from Cape. He went for the reset, but he got shut down on the goal line. And now we've got the answer from Whelps. Nothing comes of it, though, as Cape gets a good clear. Stays on the ball. Gets it past Quack. Tries to put it middle, but C-Money reads. Leaves it for Quack. Back onto the Diffusion half here as KP tries to take control. Clear it mid. Over into the Diffusion corner. Clear from Finner. Straight over to the Ginger. Let's see if Ginger can make a play. Shut down by Quack again. We've got a little bit of a loose ball here in the midfield. Controlling Ginger. Ginger with the good 50. Passing it all the way across. But Cape can't get a good shot on that. As we come down to the last 50 seconds of gameplay here, Sage. It doesn't seem like Diffusion can create really any offense here. They only have 3 shots in total, all coming from Cape. What do you think they're going to have to change here to generate some offense into the second game?
I mean, all three players on Diffusion, they're great solo players. I need a little bit more team play out of them. They're going for a lot of mechanical stuff, but it's just not the right time and place to go for, flip resets right now when you guys can't even get a shot on target.
Yeah, absolutely. Welps has done a good job of controlling that midfield, getting good 50s, keeping it on the Diffusion half. They really have only gotten a few shots, and most of them have been saved by Welps. So as we're counting down, reaching 0 seconds here, Welps is going to take this first game pretty handily, Sage. And I think you're right. I think Diffusion right off the bat, they started with a couple double and triple commits, and they weren't really able to create any offense there. Welps was keeping them on their half in their own defensive third. I mean, boost control is definitely on the Welps side as well. So much pressure. Now, Welps definitely saved. Welps had a lot of saves. Almost every shot from Diffusion. So do you think it's the Welps defense shutting them down, or do you think that it's more of Welps offense?
I think it's a little bit of both, but honestly, the Whelps they had great rotations there. One person goes, and next person follows. It was just real fluid from the Whelps. They definitely look like the better team there, but Diffusion, when they were going for shots, they were just solo play shots. All three Wolves would be back on defense, and Diffusion would just throw up. Oh, let's try a flip reset here. Let's try a ceiling shot there. It doesn't look like any sustained offense is coming out of Diffusion right now, and I think that is their downfall.
Absolutely. They're going to have to find a way to send those players one at a time and create some lasting pressure rather than just a shot here and there. You're absolutely right. We'll see if they're able to do that, as they're now down 1-0 in the series. Series to first to 3 wins. The second game after you lost that first one, Sage. Can you tell me a little bit how important it is to answer right back with that second game after you go down one?
Oh, it's extremely important to answer back. This past Monday, actually, we went down those first 2 games, and I can tell you it affects you mentally. You have to win. You have to practically play perfect to win the series if you go down 2-0. So that's definitely going to be on these Diffusion players' minds.
Oh, 100%, 100%. It's never easy to know that it's your back's to the wall and it's all or nothing from here on. So we'll see if Diffusion can clean their gameplay up here a little bit, as we are in the Diffusion corner. They're trying to get it clear as Control tries to put it into his own corner. Finner might get a touch on this, but he just fakes out Quackbot, and then Quack with the bump. So now Ginger comes in, tries to put it mid, but he can't. Cape with a good attempt, but Quack shutting him down right away. We now have a free ball, going straight towards the Welps goal, but C-Money shuts that down, and it seems like there's just Welps just spawning constantly out of their own corner to get it clear, and Diffusion can't really seem to get past even into the offensive third, let alone get a solid shot on goal. So, and as I say that, Welps defense just pounds that one all the way across the world, goes straight into the Diffusion net.
And it just strikes again. All three players playing extremely high. They have their third man playing an aggressive third, and that is coming back to bite them right now.
Absolutely. They're going to have to figure out a way to either wide rotate or just make these solo plays that they're going for work. Otherwise, they get a little too tied up in the offensive third there. As Cape tries to make a play in midfield, but Control is there again with C-Money, making a touch to Quackbot. Quackbot opts for the air dribble, but Ginger shuts that down. Cape with a good clear off the backboard. We'll see if we can make anything of this. Cape into the Welps corner. Ginger with the 50 on the goal line, but can't do anything with it. Finner keeps it in Welp's half, but no one there to follow up, so Quack pounds that back over into the diffusion half. As Finner, last one back for a second, makes a good clear, but doesn't look like he has the boost to follow it. And now we have the double commit coming out from diffusion, so Cape's going to have to get a good clear here and try to buy some time. As control to Finner. C-Money, we've got some crazy things happening here in midfield. Oh, and a loose ball. But it's put away. Control. Back again into the diffusion corner. And Sage, it seems like nothing's changed here. Welps is just shutting them down as soon as they get to midfield and then just going right back onto offense.
I mean, I will say I didn't give this Welps defense enough credit. I played with C-Money. I played with Quackball, both on a team. And their main thing is defense. They're going to come out and they're going to play stifling defense. And right now it's showing.
Absolutely. As that right there, almost 4 minutes into the game is the first shot coming out from diffusion. So Welps is just absolutely dominating them in the midfield here. And tell me, Sage, what do you think the domination in the midfield is? Is it a boost issue? Is it a rotation issue? What do you think?
Welps, their rotations look really clean right now, and I just feel like diffusion, they don't have enough boost, and wow, and the ball just rolls into the back of the net.
Exactly. Right as you're saying that, we've got unfortunate clear from C-Money. Ginger is way too close to the play, and Finner just got demoed, and so he just couldn't do anything about that. So now we've got 2-0 to Welps here in the second game of the series, coming down to the last 45 seconds in this game. And Sage, yeah, as you were saying, the Welps rotation is just so much cleaner. I don't remember any double commits coming out from Welp's side, and every time I switch to one of their POVs, they're nice and spread out, got a perfect little triangle going on. It's definitely a lot cleaner, Sage.
And that's the reason why they're dominating as much as they are. Diffusion, they have 3, like I said, really good solo players, but their downfall is the fact that they're not rotating. They don't have a hat on the ball every single time, just like how Welps have it right now.
Absolutely, and as we're coming down to 0 seconds with Welps up 2-0, it's going to be another game to the Welps, Sage, and this is going a lot differently than the last time this team matched up. I think it was a 3-1 series win to Diffusion last time they matched up in week 4. According to the stats, these are 2 completely different teams. I mean, Diffusion hasn't even scored yet. I think they've only gotten maybe 5 or 6 shots in these 2 games between the 2 of them. And Welps is just absolutely handling them in basically every way possible, Sage.
Yeah, no, I'm at Diffusion. They need to come up with a solution really soon because this game is pretty much, the title game for the Pacific Division because the other 2 teams in that division, no disrespect to them, but these 2 are the best teams in that division. And right now, it's really looking like Welps are just the team to beat right now in that division, and they're dominating Diffusion right now as it stands.
Absolutely. And Welps definitely coming back with an answer for Diffusion since the last time they played, looking like a completely different team. And the consequences of Welps winning here are huge and not good for Diffusion. Diffusion's going to have to fight back from behind now against Welps, having a 1-1 record against each other now. It's gonna entirely be on series records, so these guys are both gonna have to win out to have a good chance to get that 6th seed, and the other one being just outside of play-in contention. It's gonna be rough for whoever loses this series to get a good playoff spot, but we'll see if Diffusion can change anything here. They still have another game. Let's not count them out completely yet. Maybe they had a little change of heart, little talk, and I figured something out. So 30 seconds into the game here, game 3. Not a whole lot has happened, and as soon as I say that, Finner comes in with a shot, but it's shut down by C-Money right on the goal line. And now we have Quack attempting to get the ball into the Diffusion half, but he doesn't have any boost. So now we've got Diffusion, Ginger, over in the Whelps corner. Pinches at middle, but no one there to finish. The missed touch from Ginger, putting it back into his own half. The Cape's there to clean it up a little bit. Off of Whelps' backboard, controls up, but passes it right back to Cape, but he completely whiffs, and now Ginger with the shot. Put away by Quack, and that's headed straight for the Diffusion goal. Ooh, good touch from Finner there to stay with it, get the challenge. Ginger. Good 50 against Quack. Let's see if they can follow this up here. Kind of left the ball for a minute, gave control a touch. Now we've got Cape in the Whelps corner, trying to put it mid. Air dribble almost over one, but such a good touch there by C-Money to get up and get that out of there. And now we're 2 minutes into this match, Sage, and it's looking a little more promising. We're having some offense from Diffusion here.
I must say, Diffusion, they look like a completely different team here. They're sitting down and they're coming out here to play some sustain the offense. Their rotations look much cleaner. And honestly, I'm expecting a lot of big things from this Diffusion roster.
Absolutely. We already have 5 shots coming out from Diffusion versus 0 for Whelps. So they figured out how to get some offensive pressure here in the first half of this third game. But let's see if they can keep it up and make something out of it, as Quack touches it into his own corner. And the follow-up from Control over to Cape. Cape puts it middle. Finner with the touch. We've got a free ball up in the Whelps half, but C-Money's up for that. Ginger with a big bomb right over the Whelps goal. But C-Money again with the clear. C-Money is absolutely on it with these saves today. Oh, yes, we got the Rule 1 right in front of the Whelps goal from Control. And who is that? No one anymore. They just got bumped out. Disrespectful, honestly. And that'll teach him a lesson. Don't disrespect Rule 1, Sage.
There it is. This is what I'm expecting from this Diffusion team. Put it up high and have one of your mechanical and fast players get up there and put the ball into the back of the net.
Absolutely. KP coming through for the Diffusion roster here with 2 minutes left. Let's see if Diffusion can stay alive here. It's a rough ball above the Diffusion goal, but Ginger so quick up to that and the touch over to KP. Quackpot will try to buy time for his Whelps roster, and it does work for now. So now we've got Quack and Control on offense. Control going for the bump. Quack with the shot, but Ginger, nice dodge and the save. Now we've got the response from the Diffusion offense. Nothing coming of it. But to be fair, they don't need to score here. They just need to hold them back, as we have an absolutely empty goal here, and Ginger will finish that off.
They don't need to score, but they sure will. I will say the tide has completely changed in this game. It's really looking like Diffusion is in the driver's seat this game. They just need a strong last minute to finish out.
Absolutely. 2 goals in just over a minute definitely is plausible, but with the way Diffusion's playing right now, it seems unlikely. And as I say that, C-Money hit the gym this morning, evidently, Sage.
Oh, he hit the gym, all right. That's one hell of a dunk there from C-Money. Getting it right over one player, but moved his own player, in fact, just to get to that ball. Had to get through 2 players there, one of them being his own.
C-Money is a hungry boy today. He wants those stats. And so now we've got Whelps with 1 goal and 1 minute left. And whoa! And now we've got a demo and a bump at the same time, and an absolute free goal for Control there, Sage.
Just as I said, the tides flipped. What a comeback from the Whelps here. What a comeback from C-Money. He doesn't get anything from that play, but man, he orchestrated that play by himself. Getting a demo and leaving the ball there for his teammate to come pick up, that's a great play from C-Money.
Absolutely. C-Money's definitely been the player of the series. And as I say that, Cape now just gets a free ball in front of the Whelps goal, and he'll put that one away every time.
That's a great kickoff from Diffusion there. Great recognition from KP to see there that the net was wide open. That's just a great play there.
And so the real quick answer from Diffusion puts them back up with 1 minute remaining. I think that's 3 goals in 18 seconds. Absolute pandemonium coming out in this last little bit of this third game. We'll see if anything else can come of it as Quackbot is controlling in the midfield. The challenge from Ginger. Good 50 from Quack though. But then a better one from Finner puts it back into the Whelps half. Now we've got Finner on his left wall, but control with a good clear there. No boost to do anything with, but he does pop this up over the Diffusion goal. C-Money with the attempted shot, but it's shut down. A bunch of crazy 50s, and oh no, the unfortunate touch from C-Money. But Quack is there to back him up. And with the 50, Ginger, see if he can get this out of his half. He gets a touch to the mid, but with no boost left. And as we're coming into this last 5 seconds here, Whelps has one more attempt here, pops it middle, Quack with the shot, but it's shut down by Finner, and now Ginger's up to try to set this down. All it's got to do is touch the floor, but that's a dangerous cross, but C-Money can't do anything with that. So now we've got Diffusion with 1 game in their pocket, Sage.
That's all Diffusion needs now. I've been in this position before. Now you practically have to play a perfect game. I mean, 7 shots coming out from Ginger this past game. That's extraordinary. This Diffusion team really needed this, offensive explosion that they had. And with that being said, I do think for Diffusion to continue winning and hopefully get a reverse sweep here tonight is that they need to control the ball in the air. They need to get that aerial pressure going, because one thing they do have over the Whelps is that they're better in the air than the Whelps. So they definitely need to make that their game plan for the rest of this game, or for the rest of this series.
Absolutely. Diffusion able to come out with a ton of offensive pressure this last game. And what do you think changed there? I mean, because it was a completely different game there. Diffusion was absolutely annihilating, except for a couple unfortunate challenges stuff in front of their own goal. What do you think was changing there in the head of the Diffusion roster?
I think the Diffusion roster realized that they're better in the air than this Wolves team. But I also think that this Wolves team shot themselves in the foot a little bit during that game. They had a couple mistakes, and Diffusion did well to capitalize off of those mistakes.
Absolutely. Diffusion definitely using their speed, I've noticed, to their advantage here. Whelps couldn't quite keep up on a lot of those shots, and they just beat him to the ball. We'll have to see if they can keep that speed up. And as I say that, Quackbot coming out with some speed of his own.
I've played with both of these guys. Quackbot heard that I said he was not as good in the air as these kids. And he just says, sit down, Sage. Let me show you.
Quack has the stream open yelling at Sage right now. Absolutely.
Of course.
As we've got Whelps one up in this game, in game 4 now. Pretty quickly. We'll see if Diffusion can keep up the pressure that they had in game 3 here, if that was just a fluke coming from the Whelps. As we've got a shot on goal from Quack, Ginger with the clear. Pops over one, goes for the shot, but Control shuts that down. And now with the counter, Finner makes a touch towards his own goal though, and the miscommunication gives Quack a free shot. Ginger with a good clear off the backboard there. Now we've got more double commits coming out from Diffusion. It looks like Diffusion's getting confused again. They might have turned back into that game 1 and 2 team here. Looks like they're getting a little flustered. We'll see if they can clean it up. As a pop over the Whelps goal. C-Money with a massive clear over to the Diffusion corner. Ginger tries to control but can't quite. Finner, good clear off of his goal line. Quack makes a little bit of a clear into the midfield, but he can't do anything with it. Another double commit from Diffusion, Sage. It looks like they're kind of reverting back to their old ways here, back into their game 1 and 2 ways where they just seem flustered, Sage.
The pressure is definitely, it's getting to them a bit. I can tell they're down 2-1. They lose this game. They're out. They're also down a goal. You can tell right now.
Oh, no.
Quackbot puts in another shot, makes it 2-0.
Yeah, it looks like Diffusion just couldn't quite hold on to that same momentum they had coming out of game 3, where they were able to just absolutely dominate. And in basically every stat line. And now we've got Whelps coming out with all this pressure, leaving Diffusion with only one shot so far compared to their 5. And so what do you think, Sage? Now, game 3 being completely different than the other 3 games so far, you think it's more of a mistake on Whelp's part? Do you think they just kind of died off in game 3, or do you think Diffusion actually came alive, but then they just can't keep that same momentum?
I think it's a bit of both, because Diffusion, they really looked dead those first 2 games, but now they came back to life in that 3rd game, but now they're just getting too antsy, they're down 2 goals. This is game point for the Whelps. I understand the pressure they're over. They just need to calm down and start rotating once again. If they don't do that, this will unfortunately be the last game of the series.
Absolutely. Their rotations were definitely better in that game 3, and that probably has a lot to do with it. But as I say that, Finner, again with the high aerial play, just faster than the rest of the Whelps offense, Sage.
I've said that they're better in the air. I do wholeheartedly believe that. I've played with Finner. I believe he's a great player in the air, and he's showcasing his talents right there.
Absolutely. What a touch from Finner to get it under the first defender and then over the second off the bounce. Beautiful play. And as he comes up for another air dribble over one, but Quackbot, what a save off his own backboard there. C-Money trying to get a clear, but he doesn't have any boost, so he gives it over to Quack, who gets bumped off by Ginger, and now Cape has control. C-Money with a beautiful challenge. Diffusion's kind of awkward here on their back foot. Ginger around 1, 50 on a second, but Quack's there to shut that down in the midfield. Opts for the bang to give his team some time, and he gave them plenty of it as they're trying to create some offense here. Oh, the mistouch from Quack. This might give Ginger a chance. He goes up for the double tap. So close! But Ginger couldn't quite finish there. So now we've got Quack with the answer. Nothing coming out of that. Cape. Oh, the double commit coming out from Whelps. Diffusion's got to do something right now. There's only one person back. Oh, but Cape couldn't quite get that touch. That would have been absolutely insane, but he couldn't quite follow through there. And as we're nearing 1 minute left in this game, Whelps is still up by 1 goal, and now they're just playing kind of monkey in the middle here. And of course, as I say that, they say, never mind, we're done, we're scoring again.
That might be the dagger, and it comes back. They don't have anyone back post Diffusion, and they would have been right there for the save. But props to the Whelps team for being able to expose this Diffusion defense.
Absolutely. Diffusion not quite ready for that free ball right in front of their own net. And there's another one. I think you're right, Sage. If the last one wasn't the dagger, this 4th goal from Whelps definitely is.
Just a whiff there from Finner. There's not much more he can do. He just needs to get a touch on that ball.
Unfortunate from Finner there. Couldn't quite get up. An absolute banger from Control off the right wall. And as we're in the last minute now, the rest of this, to be fair, it's technically possible. Never mind, no, it's not, as C-Money scores the 5th goal.
I'm so sorry.
For Whelps. Oh, no, absolute disaster for the Diffusion roster here, Sage.
It's just crumbling for Diffusion right now, and I honestly feel bad for them because this is a brand new roster. They brought in this roster because their old roster wasn't performing well. They bring in this new roster. They're having a good couple of games, but loyalty is clearly winning the battle here because I don't think the Wolves have made a single roster move this season. I think they've stuck with the same exact controlled alt elite with a banger. I can't even finish my thought.
The floodgates have absolutely opened for Whelps here. Diffusion is whether they're just messing around now or whether the floodgates have just opened for Whelps. Either way, it's just an absolute slaughter here in Game 4, and I don't think there's any way Diffusion comes back from this. So these last 35 seconds are definitely just kind of, playing it out. But now I wasn't aware that this was basically a completely new roster from Diffusion here, Sage. So that being said, if you were to give them some advice going forward, what do you think are some things they need to work on here?
They're very mechanical. They're good in the air. They just need to get a replay review, may work out these rotational errors because they're really good players. Once they fix up those rotational errors, they could be back in the playoff race. But I mean, they just went from the 6th seed to the 11th seed. It's going to be tough mentally for them to get back into this. Going from the 6th seed to the 11th seed with a chance to miss the entire postseason is just it's tough on a player mentally.
Absolutely. And as that basically entire last minute was kind of just a formality, we've now got Whelps winning the series 3-1 here in game 4.
I called it.
Whelps going up to looks like 7-9. It looks like the player sheet was already updated. Someone's quick on that. Whelps going to 7-9 now. Diffusion down to 6-10, and it looks like Whelps are going to have a great chance of getting that 6th seed by being on the top of the Pacific Western Conference. Sage, good show from Whelps, and Diffusion had a lick of spark in their eye for a game. Good attempt from Diffusion there, and being a new roster, that's going to happen. So any final words as we pop out here for a minute, waiting for the second game of the night, Sage?
Great game from both teams. Diffusion, it's unfortunate right now that you guys are currently out of the postseason picture, but keep working. Some things have to go your way now, but you guys have got it. Keep working. Hopefully you guys make it to the postseason.
Absolutely. And up next, we're going to stay in the Novice League. We've got Frost versus Ignite, and you're going to have Gallium and Jaegers as your casters. What a treat. Anyways, thank you guys. I'm Dr. Waffles, and I had Sage with me. Now we're going to go on break. Thanks.
Thanks for having me, Waffles.
You betcha.
welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League. My name is Gallium, and joined with me in the booth is, you know him, you love him, Jaegers. How you doing today, Jaegers?
I'm doing fantastic, Gallium. I'm ready for some Rocket League. And we have a good matchup here. Frost versus Ignite, a rematch of the Season 5 Grand Finals. And both teams really fighting for better seeding here.
Yeah, better seeding is the tale of most of these matches coming up into our final week of league play. And this matchup between both orgs, Firestorm and Sub-Zero, is going to be elemental battles all the way through. And the Novice League is going to give us a little bit of a taste of that. And so, Jaegers, what can you tell us about these two rosters?
Yeah, no, Frost, the big player here is Parallax. He was my teammate back in Season 3, I believe. And he was in Prospect up until this season. Very solid player, very demo heavy. And on the flip side, it's going to be C-Wink for Ignite. Look for both those players to pop off and make some plays in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think both teams have notable players, but on the Frost side of the ball, I am looking towards Chad, who, despite his MMR, is probably their most mechanical player on their team, hoping that he can step it up and get Frost a much-needed win against a Knight team who has been struggling a little bit lately, but we'll see with their new pickup day if they can get a win here.
Yeah, it will be. Only time will tell, Gallium. And I know you have a little bit of preference here for Ignite, but I think I'm gonna have to take Frost in this one, winning it in 5. You know, I see Frost taking the first game, Ignite taking the next 2, and then Frost taking the last 2. So we're gonna have to see how that plays out. I know you have your own preference here.
Listen, I am a huge fan of that prediction because I think it is going to go to Game 5. I think these two teams, I think, mesh really well against each other. I think Ignite has splendid defense. A notable player on the defensive side is Tripwire, who leads the Novice League in saves, and Aiko isn't too far behind him. So I think this whole Ignite roster is just really good defensively, and to counter that defense, Frost is going to be a team to look out for, especially on the offensive side, where you have Chad and you have Icarus and Parallax all in the top 6 4 points per game. So it's going to get a little crazy here, the Novice League. And as players are joining up, who do you think is going to take this Game 1, Jaegers?
Well, you know, Gallium, I think Frost is going to take this Game 1, starting out strong. They have the experience. They've been on stream before. And I see them taking it here. However, Icarus gets a little tripped up. It wasn't expecting the slow bouncer, and caught him a bit off guard. Ignite gonna take the lead 5 seconds in.
Tripwire, one of the solid players I was mentioning earlier, a very solid player for Ignite, and honestly, a goal early here, even though it is 6 seconds in, it is going to be very important for this Ignite roster to keep a lead against this Frost team, who is very dangerous in the offensive zone. And as we have C-Wink trying to take it in the corner, gonna put it off the backboard. Icarus misses his touch, but it doesn't matter as the ball is cleared out to the midfield. Aiko, she's gonna hit it over the wall. Parallax is gonna miss his touch, and Icarus is gonna take that touch right back. Ignite a little awkward in the zone, but Aiko, she's gonna take it away quite quickly. C-Wink over to Icarus.
Oh, what a bump.
Icarus, it's gonna get another touch. Oh no, he doesn't. And as this first minute elapses, who do you think has the upper hand here?
Well, Ignite definitely has the upper hand, being first to score the goal, but I mean, ever since then, it seems like Frost has had all the pressure, staying mostly on Ignite's side of the field. However, haven't been able to get a shot on target yet, and Aiko, she's going to have a good opportunity here, I think.
Aiko gonna slot this one in the back of the net, and Ignite, even though they have the worst record in this matchup, gonna take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, the white Octane just put it bottom left corner, beautiful placement, and Ignite just gonna double their lead almost as fast as they got it. And I mean, this Ignite team is really popping off at their right times. They don't have consistent pressure, but whenever they have the pressure, they're making their opportunities count.
Yes, they are making their opportunities count indeed, and we'll see if that is a story for later in the series. But for right now, is it Chad gonna give this ball off the sidewall? Seawink gonna give it right back to the backboard, and with a shot, it bounces off a Parallax and right in the back of the net.
Calamity strikes the Frost defense. Seawink gonna put it off the crossbar. Icarus not able to get in time. Seawink just trying to get it on target, misses. But Parallax is gonna help him out, putting it in. And I mean, three goals in 3 minutes isn't an insurmountable comeback, Gallium. But Frost is gonna have some work to do.
Yes, but I think that's been Frost's whole season up to this point. I feel like they always go down a little bit early in these stream games, or they look at least a little bit nervous, and then they attempt to regain. So we'll see if that attempt is made, and if that attempt will prove futile to the Ignite's hopes of winning this series. But as the series progresses, we have Tripwire on the sidewall. Parallax going to defend well against him. Parallax getting another bump. Aiko going to meet Izzachad on the wall. Izzachad going to go up for a second touch, does not connect with it. Icarus off the sidewall. Going to see if Trip can get a hit here. Yes, he does. Aiko, she's going to get a nice touch over to Parallax. Uh-oh, the double commit going out. Let's see what Seawink can do with it. Seawink going to have a little bit of a touch here. Parallax going to clear that one out. And honestly, this is looking like Ignite's game to win so far.
Absolutely right, Gallium. I mean, this Ignite team just looks much more composed, and I mean, this Frost team is panicking. They're not playing well on defense. They're rushing into everything. And Aiko, she's just going to put another one on target. 4 goals in this one. And, I mean, this Ignite team showed up to play.
Yes, it's kind of looking like Call of Duty out here with these tactical missile strikes coming out from Ignite, just launching it from midfield and in the back of the net. And honestly, what I have seen from Ignite has been better than any of my expectations could have hoped for. And again, another shot getting past the Frost defense, gonna make it 5-0.
Yeah, Tripwire just wants to be included here. He was the only one on the team without a goal. He just wants to be included, puts it bottom left. It seems like Ignite's been aiming for that pixel. And I mean, 5-0, you need to figure out something if you're Frost. You need to find the mental reset, or else this game's going to get away from you fast. This series, excuse me.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think, honestly, this game 1 is not looking very winnable for Frost, but I think a key for Frost is, I always say this, it's very important for a team to score a goal late, to have momentum, at least some semblance of momentum going into the second game. And wow, this Ignite team, so fiery in their attacks, and like their name, they are very fiery. Horrible pun, I know, but we'll see what Seaway can do with the ball. An unfortunate miss, but Tripwire, the saves leader, gonna get that save right away. Aiko, she's going to try to get a touch, leaves it for Tripwire. Tripwire can't do much, and Seaweek has the ball all to himself. Let's see what he can do. Off the side wall, off the ceiling. Seaweek gonna try to make a play, and Icarus off the back wall. Ball is floating in Frost's zone. An unfortunate double commit. Let's see if Frost can capitalize off of this. Icarus, I'm surprised he's not using the Dominus anymore. Dominus used to be his car of preference. Tripwire over to Icarus. Icarus trying to get a double. He almost does, and cleared out again by this Ignite defense, who is not going to let in a single Frost goal, it seems like.
Yeah, no, this Ignite defense is just an iron wall. Quite literally, whenever you see their play on the last possession, all 3 were on the goal line, ready for anything that came their way. And this Frost team just needs to get some offense. They've only had 1 shot. Meanwhile, Ignite is capitalizing on every single shot they've taken. 5 for 5 shooting, you're not going to find a better percentage than that. And Izzachad going to do his best to get one back here. And I mean, you were saying earlier, they might not be able to come back this game, but a little momentum's always nice here and there.
Izzachad trying to light a spark for his team. Probably a poor choice of words there, as they are an ice team, but hey, you know, it is what it is. A 5-1 lead for Ignite. Honestly, I am flabbergasted by the 5 shots, 5 goals. Kind of an insane shooting percentage, 100% shooting percentage, and this Frost team kind of looks lost, but we'll see how these last 20 seconds treat them. As Parallax gonna try to take this ball off the back wall. And Seawink gonna intercept it. Dad gonna give it off the top wall. Parallax gonna clear to the back post, and Tripwire gonna put in his 3rd goal of the game.
Yeah, I mean, the shooting percentage isn't the same, but I mean, the Ignite is now vying for the Brazil. Frost just needs to clear the ball. They need to get the big bangs. They need to disrupt this Ignite defense somehow. They need to find Demo somewhere because
Yeah.
whatever they're doing right now just isn't working, Gallium.
No, it's not. And honestly, this Frost team is looking a little bit lost. But, as this ball hits the ground, we'll see if Frost can regain in this game too. And I think, honestly, the key for them is going to be playing more solid defense. I think they're focusing too much on their offense. I feel like they have to play more solid in the midfield because I feel like they're getting beat. I think 3 of those goals from Ignite were from the midfield, just banging it down and getting in Frost's face. So honestly, Ignite played splendid. So we'll see how this Frost team adapts and adjusts going into this game number 2, Jaegers.
Well, Gallium, this Frost team just needs to play better all around. They got outshot 7-2, and they need to get the clears on defense. They need to get shots on offense. They need to find those searching shots where you just take shots at the goal. Half the time they won't go in, but they'll make Ignite reach for them. It'll make them commit. It'll make them use up boost. And that's whenever you go seal the boost and rotate out and keep the pressure. And this Frost team just hasn't been able to do that. On the flip side, Ignite's been really good at counterattacking. They haven't held a lot of pressure for long, but they've been able to get the good clears, catching Frost on the back foot, and then just putting in the back of the net.
Yeah, this is a very important series for Ignite, and they're definitely playing like this is an important series right now. Ignite sitting at that 8-7 record. If they win this game, they have a very good chance of clinching a playoff spot going into the next couple of matches. So, but on the flip side, Frost has already clinched their plans. But if I were the Frost, I would not give up just yet because having that playoff spot adds a nice little cushion for you. And that playoff spot in mind is a Chad. Gonna give it over to Tripwire. Tripwire clearing it off to the sidewall. Seawink, let's see what he can do with it. Can't do much because the ball is awkward. Oh, a little bit of a demo going out here by Parallax. That seems to be a specialty as Icarus. Gonna try to turn. Does not end up turning, and I think that confused his teammate a little bit. But on the other side, the very comfortable Ignite team right now gonna look to score even more goals, as has been the theme for this game, as Icarus gonna give it right to the defense, and this ball is free. Let's see who can get there first. Will it be Parallax or Aiko? Aiko gets there first, and honestly, Aiko, she's been kind of on fire recently, as she's been beating Frost defenders left and right.
She really has. I mean, she had 2 goals in the last game, just been a menace on offense. And as of right now, Frost has been doing well to keep the Ignite scoring at bay, but the question is, how long can that last?
Yeah, I think that is the big question. How long can it last? This Ignite team looking very revitalized. I know the last time I watched an Ignite match on stream, it wasn't the best because I feel like they were playing out of place with each other. I feel like they were playing too flashy and weren't getting enough done in the offensive zone. But this has been the complete opposite from this Ignite team. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. And honestly, this Ignite team could take it the distance. It's just a matter of stamina. But keeping that in mind, we have Icarus putting the ball downfield, and Aiko has a missed touch, and that's going to be an easy put-in for Chad, making it a 1-0 lead.
Chad stealing the lead from Ignite 1-0. It took a while, but it's there. Just an open net. That man hits those 10 out of 10 times a game when the opportunity presents itself, and Frost does well to get on top.
Yep, Frost. Huge goal in the beginning portion of this
what a
game.
pass.
Keeping Ignite awkward, and what a passing play coming out from Frost, and they are looking hot.
Well, it was a good pass. The shot was less than inspired, but it caught the defense off guard. It did the job. And I mean, this Game 2 Frost team is looking like a completely different Frost team than Game 1. They have the swagger, they have the shots, and now they have the lead. 2-0 Frost.
2-0 could be detrimental to the Knight's hopes, and Chad gonna try to make a solo play in the back of the net, and he does just that.
You know, Gallium, why not make it 3? Why not? Good little counterattack by Frost as Chad beats a defender, beats a second, and has a tap in. The bronze banner, and he's leading his team to 3-0 over Ignite.
Is a Chad on hat trick watch. A player I said in the pregame to be looking out for as one of the more mechanical players, and he's definitely making his presence known, especially in the beginning of this game. And if Frost want to stay in this game and not let Ignite have a chance to come back, I think Izachat has to keep stepping up here. But this ball gonna be in a dangerous spot, and here come the hats.
Yeah, I mean, Izachat was just lurking. He had the game sense to know Tripwire had to make a play, and that was the only play that there was to be made. A ball just trying to get clear of the goal, the only direction, right in front of the goal, and there he was lurking 4-0.
The score might be 4-0, but we still have half of a Rocket League game to play, so we'll see if this Frost team can hold on. In Ignite's case, last game, they were able to hold on, so let's see if Frost, can reverse the tables. Izachat gonna try to take this up the wall, give it right to Tripwire, who gives it down. Parallax gonna have some time here, and never mind, as Tripwire coming out with another demo. The demos have been pretty frequent for this Ignite team. Parallax to Aiko. Let's see what she can do. Off the sidewall, gets a good little flip. Let's see if the double comes out. Oh, it does, but Izachat with an amazing stop. Again, this Frost defense is looking like they've come here to play, as Izachat gonna try to double it. Unfortunately, he does not get there. Parallax off the backboard, gives it over to Tripwire, who gives it right back over to his corner. The ball is just settling down, and what a pass from Parallax to Izachat. The dynamic duo strike again.
And Parallax going to take his time there. He sees his teammate down the mid. The last defender just dives on it. And Izachat, an open net awaits. 4 goals in this one, and his team gets 5.
5-0 Frost. Honestly, these first 2 games have been the craziest first 2 games I've seen in a while. We'll see if the next 2 games can repeat the story, or if they will be different. Honestly, my prediction will be they'll be a little bit closer, because I think both teams are still trying to figure each other out. As Seawing, what a banger in the back of the net, giving his team life.
Yeah, no, just a perfect placement by Seawing. It might be a little bit too late, but a top right banger's all you need to get the momentum back. And I mean, Ignite knows they can score. They know. I'm not sure if this game's a fluke, but they haven't been shooting. They still have the same amount of shots they had last game, just not the accuracy. The accuracy just isn't there. And the bumps are also there. Icarus going to put one on target. I think the bump was from Parallax, if I'm not mistaken. Galleon, Parallax is number 5 on Nemesis's all-time leaderboard for demos.
Yeah, and I can honestly see why. This Frost team has meshed together into a beast unlike the Novice League has ever seen, as Parallax going to try for a double here. Does not have enough boost to go. Izachat off the sidewall. This is not a place where you want Izachat to have boost, and Izachat going to take it to the other corner, grab boost, reset himself. Parallax bumps him out of the way. I think Parallax thought he was playing for the other team. It's Icarus going to go up, and there's nobody in net, as Aiko, she saves her Ignite team by being in net, being there. Izachat and Seawink almost collide, and the ball is just free again. This Ignite team has been looking a little frantic on the defensive line, as Seawink is going to try to catch Parallax's ball. But no, they fake off of it, and again, more shots coming out. Tripwire over to Icarus, and we'll see if Tripwire can settle the ball here. He ends up doing it. Seawink gives it to the wall. Let's see if Ignite can score a late game goal. 5 seconds left. Tripwire off the ground. Aiko gonna try to get a goal here. Unfortunately, doesn't go. Seawink trying to keep the ball alive. Parallax keeping the ball alive, and it is going to be a 6-1 victory for Frost. And if my memory serves me correctly, I think that was the same score as the last game, but reversed.
Absolutely. I'm not sure I've ever seen a drastic change in game 1 to game 2 outcome. But I mean, all the goals are tied up. There's been 14 goals this series so far. It's only game 2, and I mean, neither team is really dominating. They're just taking turns dominating. And if we keep on this pace, we're definitely going to game 5. Someone needs to take the reins. Someone needs to take control in game number 3. because that team very well could be taking the series.
I wholeheartedly agree. But, even though Frost won 6-1, Ignite are not out of it yet. You saw it in game one, how Frost came back into this game two and beat Ignite the same score that Ignite beat them. So honestly, I think game three is up for grabs, to be completely honest. I think the teams are talking with each other. They're finally telling each other what the other team is doing. And I think this game three will be a demonstration of both of their strengths. I think Ignite will have better defense, and I think Frost will have better offense. We'll see if I'm correct here, Jaegers, as this game number three gets underway.
Oh, definitely. I'm excited for it. Right now, I can't tell you who's going to win because I don't know which team is going to show up. Is the high-scoring Ignite team or the high-scoring Frost team going to show up? And, we're just going to have to wait and see. This first goal is going to mean a lot in this series because it's going to spell out the momentum for the rest of this game.
Yes, it is. And, for both teams, momentum is exactly what you need. And I feel like the Frost have a little bit more momentum. Is Chad going to go up? Here's the Chad difference. And it is guaranteed. Clip it, chat. Chad just hit a banger.
Chad pops over one and is just going to air dribble it past the defense for the double tap, and Sea-Wing not able to get back in time, and Frost kicks off this game three with a banger.
Chad, again, that player to look out for if you're Ignite. You want to stop him any means necessary. Do not give him any space. And I feel like Ignite are not watching the Nemesis stream right now because
save.
They would have listened to that. What a save from Icarus, the defensive GOAT. And on the other side, Parallax is going to try to get a shot away. Does not go. Icarus off the sidewall, right to his teammate Chad off the backboard. Now Sea-Wing's turn. Sea-Wing off the sidewall. Here's a chance. The ball's in midfield. Chad going to handle the ball, put it to the other corner where Parallax is. Parallax is going to send that ball off the corner. Chad has a shot right to Parallax, and this Ignite defense is crumbling.
And what a play by Parallax to Chad. A little 1-2. And Parallax just with the goal secure. We can't really be sure that ball was going in the back of the net. So, Parallax just made sure for us. Frost up 2-0 in this pivotal game number three.
This game number three, honestly, to me, will decide who has the most momentum going into the latter matches of the series, as Icarus gonna give it down. Aiko is very awkward, but she makes it work. Tripwire gonna try to get off the backboard, but ends up being Parallax, and finally the Ignite relieves some pressure. Chad off the sidewall, gonna try to make something work. Ends up getting the ball out to midfield. Icarus back to Parallax. I think that was unintentional. Aiko had a shot, but it was a very awkward shot. She misses. Ball off the sidewall. Sea-Wing with another corner shot and another save coming out from Frost. Aiko back to the back wall. She has an open shot. It was a calculated fake. Parallax, Sea-Wing collide, and this Frost defense is looking pretty intimidating right about now, Jaegers.
It's looking intimidating, and it's looking a little bit lucky. I'm not going to lie to you. There were a few shots that Ignite definitely should have had, and I can't help but feel like Frost just got away with a crime there. The scoreline should be tied right now.
Getting away with crimes is Firestorm's specialty, so we'll see if that trend continues. Aiko over to Tripwire. Tripwire gonna send that one down the field, and a 2-1 game now, Jaegers. How's the rest of this one gonna shake out?
Yeah, Tripwire just gonna get a nice touch, but it's a Frost double commit that played a big part there. The third man didn't rotate back fast enough, and you can't both double commit to a ball in that position. It's very difficult to not get scored on there, and Ignite does well to capitalize.
Yep, I think capitalizing is a key factor here for any novice league team who's hoping to be successful. I think capitalizing on the chances that you provide yourself is a key pivotal point. We'll see if either team can do that, as Jaeger's wanting the demo and I am wanting the demo as well. Sea-Wing gonna try to meet Chad off the wall, ends up bumping him away, being very rude. Icarus rather, off the sidewall, can't do much with it. Aiko, she's gonna hit it down. Aiko has one to beat. Aiko cannot end up beating it. Chad gonna try to 50 with Seawing, does not go. Icarus back to the back corner, and that's where Parallax is gonna be. Parallax's natural spot. The ball up in the air, Tripwire and Parallax collide. Aiko gets a demo. Let's see what she can do with it. Tripwire gonna give it right back to the corner of nice ball to relieve some pressure. Is it Chad? I send the ball downfield, and I think that was an open shot, but passing it to Tripwire, and the pre-flip does not go. A little bit unfortunate here, but Aiko and Is it Chad both calculated fakes going out. Parallax over to the side. And honestly, a pass right to himself, and that shot's dangerous, and Is it Chad is a very dangerous man right now.
Yeah, and I think the Ignite defense was just expecting the shot, instead hanging off the top. Always dangerous, especially since Tripwire was caught lacking on defense. And, I mean, the Frost player just puts it back post for the easy slot. And then Frost looks like they're running away with this one.
Yes, they do, as Icarus, with a very nice fake, gonna put Frost up 4-1.
Yeah, Parallax is just going to tap it up and then pancake it there. And Icarus, I'm not sure how he had the momentum going sideways, but it works out. And just as fast as they score the third one, they score the fourth.
Very unfortunate for this Ignite team here. Honestly, I don't think they realized how much of a chance they had coming into this game 3. I feel like it kind of slipped away from them. Let's see if they can regain it. Parallax over to Seawink. Seawink has another touch here off the backboard. Let's see if Tripwire can hit it. Tripwire just misses, but Icarus misses 2. Dunks 1. Aiko can't get the ball away. Seawink gonna put it towards the midfield. Parallax over to Is it Chad, and it's a banger. Mom, get the camera. Is it Chad has scored 3.
And you know, Gallium, that's Is it Chad's second hat trick. He has 7 goals in this series, but I want to talk about that pass. That's not a pass you normally see in Novice. Good vision by Parallax, and good job by Is it Chad. Way to be there. And Frost is running away with this one. Look for Ignite to find some way, somehow, to come back in this game 4, because, I mean, their play-in hopes are on the line right now.
Yes, they are, but if they do lose this series, it's not completely over for them yet. But this series is very pivotal to give yourself a little bit of breathing room. I think that's very important. You don't want to back yourself into a corner like the Ignite team last year did, as Seawink over to Is it Chad. Gets it past, and Seawink making some plays of his own.
And I mean, Seawing just gonna fake the aerial, comes back down on for the pinch. What an angle! I don't think anyone, let alone Is it Chad, was expecting that. And I mean, it was a nice shot. A little bit of life should come back into the comms. And I mean, it's not gonna do much for the scoreboard, but for Ignite's mental, it should do both loads.
I think players' mentals are very important, especially in the Novice League. So we'll see if Ignite's mental improves. And a little bit of off topic here. I heard before the game that both teams went fire and ice type cars and goal explosions and such. So if you're seeing a bunch of ice and fire on the field, that is why. A little bit of fun. And this rivalry has shown that these two teams can get after it. And both these teams look hungry right now, Jaegers. And honestly, if I'm Ignite, you have to win 2 games in a row. And the question for me is how?
Yeah, I mean, this game you just need to come out swinging. You want to take all of this time before game 4. Just let it reset on its own. It looks like all the players readied up, however. But you just need to get back the mental. You need to score the first goal in the game 4. The first goal is always extremely pivotal, not just for the scoreboard, but getting the momentum going in the game. And especially losing 2 games in a row in the fashion that they lost to 2 games in a row with the score of, I believe it was 11-2 overall. So they need to find something to get on offense. They need to hit their shots. And I want them disrupting the back line. I need to see a bit more demos out of Ignite. Whenever Ignite was demoing off in game 1, they were putting shots on target. They're getting goals. And they kind of strayed away from it in games 2 and 3, and they lost horrendously as a result.
One thing I will give Ignite credit for is they're a very gritty team. So I think, like you said, clearing the back line won't be much of a problem for them. Let's see if they end up doing it, though. Is a Chad over to the sidewall, gives it right to Tripwire. Tripwire gonna try to make a play, almost hits it, but Parallax says no. C-Wink, or Ico rather, gonna put it off the backboard. Gonna collide with Icarus, and this is an opportunity here. Tripwire with the shot saved away, and I need to see more of those chances from Ignite. C-Wink, Parallax collide. Ico off the backboard. Again with another pass right down to the midfield. Let's see if any Ignite players can collide with it.
Oh, that's a dangerous ball.
Yeah, it is a very dangerous ball. Those pinches like that are dangerous, but Parallax had a free shot. Does not do much with it. It is a one-on-one. Tripwire can't beat Izachat. Another dangerous ball, and Icarus off the lucky bounce is going to put this one away.
And yeah, Icarus just a recipient of the right place at the right time. A good 50 by Izachat, and good way to be there by Icarus. Just quicker to the ball. And in this one, I wasn't expecting Frost to have the first goal. Ignite had all the momentum. They had all the pressure. And Frost just steals the first goal from them. With a good pass here, however, C-Wink's gonna put it on target, but Icarus does well to clear it.
Yeah, I think that's just been the theme. I think Ignite have been putting decent shots on the net, but notice that I said decent. They haven't been absolutely amazing, and I think this Ignite team is very capable of putting those amazing shots on net. You just have to catch Frost lacking, and Frost is gonna catch Ignite lacking, making it 2-0.
And yeah, Icarus just gonna force Ico to have an unfortunate touch, and Icarus just reads the wall bounce, puts it where the defense can't get it. Tripwire almost does well enough to get to it, but not quite. And Frost up 2-0 in this extremely pivotal game number 4. But you know what they say, Gallium, and Forbidden Temple, crazy things have always happened.
We'll see if crazy things happen, and I think if you want a team for crazy things to happen to, it's going to be for Ignite. You will hopefully see comeback, and I think a 2-0 lead is the most dangerous lead in sports, and we'll see if that holds true. Tripwire off the backboard. Let's see if any of the Ignite players can get to it. No. Ends up going right to Parallax, who gives it right to Icarus, but it's off the sidewall. Can C-Week beat Izachat? No. As a double commit going out from Ignite. A little bit unfortunate. Parallax has a free ball, but C-Wink clears it to the corner, gives it right to Trip, who's going to opt not to hit it. Go. And Izachat. Both go for the ball. A good 50 coming out. C-Wink going to try to pass it to Ico, but I don't think Ico really noticed. And another pass. Oh, what a banger. And this Tripwire fella, he can score.
And just good handling on the sidewall by C-Wink, wrapping the ball around and finding Tripwire in the middle. A dangerous play. And Ignite going to cut this lead in half, and let's see if they can tie it up.
Yes, those are the plays that I expect out of Ignite all the time. You want those good passing plays, and I think more of the Ignite players want to give the pass than shoot at this point, as Ico going to get a good save here. Icarus off the sidewall, going to get it right to Trip, who ball is just going to be floating for Parallax off the backboard. Tripwire has a touch. Tripwire gets another touch over to Ico. Ico almost fakes out Icarus, but the veteran comes up clutch. What a touch from Parallax. And the ball is just floating. Izachat can't put it away because Tripwire is a goated defender. Tripwire over to C-Wink. C-Wink gonna boom that one downfield. Oh, what a save from Izachat. This man is everywhere at once. Izachat pops it over one. Can he get the finish? No, Parallax can't. Ico off the sidewall. Izachat gonna try to make a solo play. Cannot happen. Tripwire. Oh, 2 of them went. If Tripwire got a pass, it would have been a free goal. I think those are more opportunities that Ignite wants to look for. Ico. The sidewall. Ico. Can't get much out of it. And nobody's going for the ball for Ignite. Finally, C-Wink is going to go for the ball. Parallax. Can't do much with it, but Icarus can. Can he double? Man. Yes, he can.
And I mean, just a nice play by Icarus, but where was the defense there? It looked like both Ignite players went for the side boost on the opposite end of the field. No one home. And Icarus just basically in free play there.
Essentially, what has happened, I feel like this Ignite team has kind of given up on their defense, which is their main focal point, I think, when it comes to their roster. We'll see if they can revamp that defense, but in the meantime, this Frost team is pelting shots on the net. 8 shots in total, 3 of them in the back of the net. That is a Frost team that is out for blood here. Seawink off the backboard. Aiko. Can't do much with it. Let's see if Izachat can. Izachat off the sidewall. Tripwire just misses. Aiko almost gets completely dunked by Parallax. Seawink over to Izachat. Uh-oh. You cannot let this man have space. And this is why. Oh my goodness. Tripwire to the other end. Seawink backflipping into the ball. A bump coming out from Parallax. And ball just staying in that Ignite zone. If you're Ignite, you have to get the ball out in order for a chance to win. And the left corner shots for this Frost team have been absolutely deadly.
And yeah, Parallax just gonna put this game on ice with the 4th goal here. 30 seconds left. It's not impossible, Galleon, but it's going to be very difficult for Ignite to claw their way back without a few good kickoffs going their way.
No, I would say it's impossible, but it is Forbidden Temple, as you mentioned earlier. Crazy things have happened, and we'll see if crazy things can happen. A nice demo goes out, but I think Seawink accidentally bumped his teammate there. The ball off the backboard. Free shot. Oh, it goes off the crossbar. Unfortunate, but another shot. Izachat again saving it, but it finally goes back in the net. 14 seconds left. Can they make the comeback?
14 seconds left. It is do or die for this Ignite team. They need to get a good kickoff here, and then they need to leave enough time left on the board to score once again. It's going to be tough, but definitely doable.
It is definitely doable, and a nice kickoff. Aiko has a chance to put the team on her back. Cannot do so, and I think with that, the game is officially over, but we'll see if I can get a shot. No, she doesn't have enough boost. And this Frost team came out and they played their hearts out, winning this rivalry match. And honestly, with the way that Izachat and the company played, I didn't expect any different.
Well, I mean, game 1, Frost was put on the back burners and Ignite really popped off. The series kind of looked like a blowout, and I guess it kind of was, but on the flip side, Frost with the gentleman sweep. Once they got their feet set, they were able to take it to this Ignite defense, and they didn't really look back.
No, they did not. Honestly, that game 1 looked a little bit scary for Frost, but I feel like they collected themselves and they attacked that game 2 as a 6-1 win in game number 2, the same as Ignite, who dealt it out to them. So honestly, very well played from this Frost team. I think they adapted to their opponents very well, and honestly, their rotations were very smooth. You saw Parallax getting a little active in the back lines. You mentioned Parallax is top 5 for demos all time. So honestly, I think this team gets very active and gets fired up later into the game. So honestly, looking forward, I think we need to see Frost heat up a little earlier in order to honestly compete for that title in the novice.
Oh, most definitely, Gallium. I mean, once playoffs roll around, you need to be on your A game, and if you trip up in even one game, it could be catastrophic. But the thing about playoffs is it's 7 games. It's a bit different, but play-ins, it's still 5, and it's really easy to be upset there. So I know Frost has clinched the play-in spot, but I mean, not everything's said and done, and could be searching for a playoff spot. And I mean, they just put themselves in a prime position to fight for it.
Yes, they did, and I feel like that's what every team, as of right now, is fighting for, to try to fight for those playoff spots. But with that said and with that done, we're going to sign off here for now, but we will be right back with a Prospect League matchup between the Blackhawks and Hypernova. I want to thank you again, Jaegers, for joining me in the booth. Any last words before you dip out?
No, I'm just hyped for this Blackhawks Hypernova game. So, I mean, stay tuned. It's right around the corner. And
Yes,
Gallium, always a pleasure casting with you, my man.
Oh, Jaegers, it is a pleasure to cast with one of the GOATs. So with that said, thank you again for letting me cast with you. And thank you for everybody for tuning into this Novice League matchup. And we will be right back with the third and last game of the night. It'll be right back.
See ya.
never get it anyway. Conquering the impossible, all with a smile on our face. Grind all day, we dance all night. With body freaks and nature, with body freaks, body freaks. Grind all day, we dance all night. With body freaks and nature, with body freaks, body freaks. With body freaks, body freaks. With body freaks and nature, with body freaks, body freaks. Grind all day, we dance all night. With body freaks and nature, with body freaks, body freaks. Grind all day, we dance all night. With body freaks and nature, with body freaks, body freaks. Left me in this mess, I'm falling. Heaven knows. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. Couldn't get any closer. Can't find a reason why. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer. We couldn't get any closer.
Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. I am Fly Penguin here with Gallium. We are headed to the Prospect League. We got a banger match coming up. But first and foremost, welcome back, Gallium. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing, and if you thought you could get rid of me, not, you can't get rid of me just yet. I'm back for some more Nemesis action in my home league. Hopefully it's going to be a banger.
It's looking to be that way. We definitely can't get enough Gallium, but we're going to move on to the Blackhawks and Hypernova. Two teams fighting for first in their division, tied with the Banshees, but they're all three teams 7-8. So with these divisional matchups coming up, this one's going to be huge. Winner of this one's going to have a leg up and hopefully take that first seed and make a good playoff run. Blackhawks are currently the 6th seed, and they are tied for 7th in PR. So they made some moves recently. They got Slays back from non-playing, and then they signed Marco Gunky from the Warhawks, and so they're looking to make some big strides after these pickups. So what do you think about those moves, Gallium?
Honestly, I think both teams made a lot of moves. I know Hypernova just a little bit recently, I think a couple of games ago, made an entire roster change. Same with the Blackhawks. So I think today we'll be seeing two newish rosters going up against each other, and both these rosters have had some success. I know Hypernova have won a bunch of games in a row, and I scrimmed around with the Blackhawks team, and they're a very, very solid team. So I think it's honestly just going to be about who rebuilt the roster better. We'll see if the GMs of either org who did it better. But I think players to look out for in particular for both of these teams, Blackhawks in particular, I think you got to go with Puggles regardless. Puggles is the man, the myth, the legend, the 1500, hoping he can help his team to an 8-8 record, looking pretty good for play-in contention. But on the other side, Hypernova, fear of the career, is their best player. Is the player that the rest of the team is going to be passing the ball to. And if you watched the Nemesis Gaming League last week, Fear the Career was on stream, and honestly, his teammates, Kenamontos and Beatree, are not that far behind them. We just played them, and they are an incredible team and a team to look out for.
Absolutely. We look forward to getting into the action. Definitely looking forward to see players like Puggles, one of Nemesis' best, to show out. Definitely you want to see your stars shine late in the season. And to make this playoff push, I mean, it's getting down to it. Tied with their tied in their division, looking for first place as we get into the action. Hypernova, Blackhawks, who's going to get the leg up? So we got Slays on Creer on the face-off there to start. Big demo by Hypernova to keep the pressure up. They're into their zone. Beatree on the ball, looking to put it out front. Just missed. Big defensive play just to get in front and put their hand up. Slays sends it out mid. Marco with a shot just wide. Slays with the follow-up. Just wide. Good pressure here from Blackhawks to start.
Oh!
Ooh, big save. Big clear just to break up that pressure. Hypernova just looking to get out of their offensive zone. They had a good start, but they're definitely getting down to it as that demo from Creer started something, but it's going right back. Marco coming across. He goes up for it, but he gets beat by the Hypernova defender. They're going back and forth here, Gallium. So what's going on here, and what's keeping the play so back and forth?
Honestly, I think it's the Blackhawks who are really controlling the play right now. They're keeping it in Hypernova's zone, and that's exactly what you want to do. Hypernova are a very dangerous team if they set up shop in your zone. But honestly, this Hypernova team is playing pretty great defense. Even though the Blackhawks have one shot, they are putting on a lot of pressure. I think the clears are looking pretty excellent, and I think play for Slays accidentally saved it there. But I think that the pressure is looking absolutely immaculate for this Blackhawks team. We'll see if Hypernova can get it back, and I think the key for Hypernova, if they want to get it back, is Beatree and Kenamontos. I know Kenamontos didn't play on Monday's game, but we'll see if Kenamontos can just get back to business with his team, and we'll see what happens here later in the series.
Yeah, definitely. We're looking forward to see some action here. It's a 0-0 game, just 2 minutes in. But I've seen a lot of physicality here. Puggles and Beatree, both top 10 in demos per game in the Prospect League. Definitely looking to open up space for their teammates. Fear the Career doubles it into the net and gives Hypernova a 1-0 lead. 3:06 remaining.
Fear the Career and the brand new Gold Dominus gonna put